So here we have it, the man of the hour. He's been in numerous films and television, and most of all, he's a diehard Yankees fan. And when I say he's a diehard, trust me on this. Please welcome actor Nick Turturro in the house, baby. How are you?
Hey, Eddie. How you doing, buddy?
And
nice opening.
You like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know you. You don't have to act for me.
I'm not acting, man. Who the hell's Eddie Mata, right? Remember those days?
Tell the audience how we met, Eddie.
How come I hear echo in the background?
I don't know.
Oh, it's my phone. Sorry. Hold on a minute. Sorry. Here we go. Hold on. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so how I met Nicholas Turturro. This is back in 2010, L.A. We were at an audition. It was Entourage audition. And Nicholas actually was sitting right next to me in the waiting room. And I'm chilling with him. And then he tells me, I look familiar. And I'm like, me? I look familiar? I'm a bum. You know what I mean? So then I told him, well, I was with the Yankees Network on this show, Ultimate Road. He's like, oh, that's where I know you from. Holy shit. We became great friends after that. But then I didn't get his contact. So I look at the casting sheet with the names. And it says Nick Turturro. And I'm like, oh, shit. What the fuck? Yeah. So then I stalked him. Well, in a good way. I was telling him that I'm a batting instructor. I teach kids how to hit. So his son at the time played at Sino Little League. And I emailed the president. And then I go to the park. And the president's like, hey, did you hear about this guy trying to reach for you? And you're like, yeah. And the guy had no clue it was me. So that's how I met Nicholas. And we became great friends. And we talk Yankees baseball all the time. Nicholas, I'm so happy you're here.
Did you tell the story?
I told the story. All right. So you want me to tell the story again?
The funny thing is, no, you don't have to tell the story. We met the audition, Entourage. It was Turtle's uncle.
Yep.
I didn't get the part. But the guy that got the part, he actually came to one of my parties like a year ago. This guy, Sonny Marinelli. Nice guy. Good actor. He was actually in the movie, too. So, I mean, he was probably better for the part than me. But anyways, that's how we met. I recognized you from the Ultimate
Road Trip.
Was it the Ultimate Fan?
Yeah.
and then you stalked me. Yeah, you showed up. My family was like, this guy's weird because who's this Eddie Mata guy? Everywhere I go, like, and I'm like, I had to defend you, and I said, he's harmless. He's just a baseball guy, He played baseball. He loves baseball. He loves the Yankees like me. Maybe not as much as me, maybe just as much. We've become friends over the years. But, my family has an image of you, Eddie Mata, so we always laugh. And I said there would be a great show like who's Eddie Mata? Like, who is this guy? He's everywhere. And I still think it would be a hilarious show.
Well, I got 10 pages. I got 10 pages left to write.
Wait, you got 10 pages written?
No, I got 20 pages. I got
really?
10 left.
All right. Well,
yeah.
When you finish it, whether it's a movie or a pilot, let me read it. I'd like to read it.
Absolutely, Nick. You're the best in the business with that.
And then I just saw you out of the blue at some Yankee golf thing with Ray Negron and a guy by the name of Leo. Mm-hmm. I just saw you in Long Island. You showed up. That's what I'm saying. Like, Eddie Mata could show up anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, what event, Eddie Mata is there. That has to be in the script.
Well,
if you didn't capture that, then that's not capturing Eddie Mata.
That's true. Cheers to that one.
I'm glad you could laugh at yourself because I can laugh at myself too.
Oh, so, please! I love when people pick on me. Are you kidding me? Please. What do you think? I'm sensitive? No way. Give it to me, baby. I'm used to it.
You got thick skin. That's good.
Yeah, you kidding
Hello.
me?
Drinking a little of this Holla House or Hollerin', whatever. Dana White's. Have you ever had it?
No. Is it good?
Oh, it's great.
Nice. All right.
Like peanut butter whiskey. It's really great.
So, Nicholas, let me ask you this. Can I call you Nicholas? Is that your real name or as far as your birth certificate?
That's nice. I mean, you know who really calls me Nicholas? My family. But if you want to call me, since you started calling me Nicholas, I'll allow it. I actually like it.
All right. So, were your family, when they were like, who's this Eddie Mata guy? How's he stalking you? I'm glad you defended me, Nick, because I am harmless. I mean, come on, what am I doing? I'm just trying to get to know people in LA.
Because a lot of people don't get people from where I'm from. And a lot of people, my family included sometimes, they don't understand East Coast mentality, East Coast guys, Yankee fans. And most people that I know are harmless. I mean, there are some people that are, can be a problem, but that's not you. So, but anyway, it is what it is. Sometimes, like I said, people are misunderstood, and if you're misunderstood by some people, so be it. It's just like some people that don't understand me, don't know. Oh, is he really crazy? Is he this? Is he that? And I'm like, no, I'm just passionate, and I've been doing this way before when I was a kid, when in my room in my parents' house, watching these crazy Yankees. My crazy love affair with them over the years has been exaggerated because of social media and all this other garbage. But the truth of the matter is, I am a hardcore fan, a true fan, knowledgeable fan on a lot of levels, and I respect and admire anybody that's a real fan. You know what I mean? That has a real love for. I mean, sometimes they wear me out, and I just go, what am I doing? What am I doing? This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
get caught up in it because I want them to do good. So I'm not against them. A lot of times, like I feel like they won't let me do things. I've done things with baseball, with Fox, and like the Yankees are so guarded. Like a lot of people are like, oh, they don't ever show you any love. I'm like, no, because I'm not, cookie cutter, probably politically correct. I'm not nothing against John Boy or these guys, but they're like in with them, and I'm
Right.
like, I'm not in with anybody. I'm in with me.
Right.
I'm in with me, and I'm for the team. And if you think otherwise, I'm not. Nothing is personal. If I'm critical of something or of other people, it's not personal. It's what I'm watching. It's what I'm feeling. And a lot of the fans know that I have the beat, the fan pulse. I have it right here because
Right.
I'm living it. I watch it.
Nick, let me ask you this. Let's turn back the clock a little bit because my show's the journey, how you made it, right? As an
Yeah.
actor, did you always wanted to be an actor when you were a kid, or it just happened?
No, it didn't just happen. When I was a kid, I had a good voice, pretty decent voice. I was a bit of a crooner. Um, I sang as a young kid. I sang a lot of Frank Sinatra stuff. I was in a musical, Oliver Twist, when I was a boy. And then in high school, they asked me to come out as a senior. They asked me to come out for a musical, Guys and Dolls, and I got one of the leads in it. And then like the whole school discovered me because like for 4 years I was invisible. One year I played high school freshman basketball, and then for 2 years I was sick with mono, with this, with that. They thought I passed away or something. I wasn't around much. And then as a senior, somebody saw me read something. They said, that guy's a natural actor. Why don't you have him come out? And so then I killed it in this play. And like everybody was like, wow, you got it. Even though my brother had been acting in college and stuff, I had been performing as a teenager. I'd sang in a church choir. I really thought music was going to be, maybe musical theater.
Hmm.
And I went to Adelphi. I was a BFA. I was a Bachelor of Fine Arts student for like 2 years. I didn't like it. It had me running around in tights. So I wasn't serious enough. I had ability, and I knew I wanted to perform. I just didn't know if I wanted to be just an actor. I thought, like I said, music was there, and then the acting bug was kind of there, and I liked it. I just, I don't think I was serious enough. I got married young, and then I took a job as a doorman, and I got stuck in this job because I had to support a kid and a wife, and I kind of let my dreams kind of go. And then my brother, when he got out of Yale, I saw his career starting to boom and take off, and it's still, I knew that I had unfinished business. And then my brother even encouraged me and said, I came to see him in film one day, and I said, man, this is exciting because it's not too late for you. You're out there with the hat on your head and that uniform. I knew there was more for me. And then, make a long story short, I started toying with the idea. I was taking an acting class with this guy Bob Modica in Carnegie Hall, And I was starting to fall in love with it a little bit. And then I met Spike Lee as an extra. And then I've told this story a million times. I did these voiceovers where he had me screaming racial obscenities, and it caught his eye, and he put me in a movie, Mo Better Blues. And then that really like was the it was sort of the turning point that I said, oh wow, after the experience I had, I went back to the door, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pursue this. I didn't quit my job right away, but then Spike used me again in Jungle Fever, and then I got other things. I got a little agent, another bigger agent, and I was working as a doorman, and I was acting, and people were like, "Wow, you're doing good. And you're still a doorman?" I said, "Yeah, I'm making my way." And then finally, when I got that part on, which was not easy, it was a whole story how I almost didn't get an audition, let alone I almost didn't get an audition because I wasn't Puerto Rican or whatever. And then they had me dangling. They loved me for this series, NYPD Blue, and then got that part. And then I said, you know what? This is it. I'm gonna make it as an actor. Or I'm gonna fail.
Right.
So I resigned, moved to LA, and the rest is history. The show was a huge hit. I had no idea. I had no real guarantee of anything other than 7 shows out of 13, which really meant like they could have got rid of me in the first season.
Right.
But they liked me, and the show was iconic and great, and I was just looking to make a living at it. And I was able to have a career and do what I love to do. I mean, it was kind of a fantasy, and I was always a big dreamer. I was always a kid that I loved sports, I loved baseball, I loved the movies. I was creative. I knew I was creative. I can't say I exactly wanted to be an actor, but I was a bit of a performer, and then it segued into acting. If
But it,
that
yeah, but it runs in your family, man, right? You got your
It runs
brother.
in my family. My brother, my cousin Aida became a great actress. Her other sister was a singer. My parents, my mom sang. She was very artistic, very talented. My father, who was in construction, but was a bigger than life character. And my uncles, I mean, the Turturros were eccentric.
Yeah, yeah.
If you saw the Turturros, it was like going to acting school. We were a different bunch, a different bunch. And you had to be around these people. And they were characters. So I had the best characters to draw from. My father, who was like Jackie Gleason, my mother, I had like live practice in my house.
Right.
In my house. You know what I mean? I really did.
No,
And
yeah.
my brother could tell you that too. My brother could tell you that. We had real drama. My brother Ralph, who passed away last year, I mean, he was a great musician. He was a character. He was brilliant, hysterical. So you're not wrong when you say it was in my blood, because it was. There are some things that are in, but then it's a matter up to you how you develop. I got started late. My brother got started a lot earlier. He's probably a lot more, sophisticated than I am. He's a lot more polished. I was more of a raw product who developed, but we're different anyway. We're different people. It didn't really matter. We're very different. My brother's more of a, he's like a genius with the mind. Me, I'm more of an instinctual animal. What you see is what you get.
Right, right. But your brother also went to Yale too. I
It's,
mean, that's huge right there.
yeah, yeah. He went to Yale. He went to a state university, New Paltz, which I went for a semester and quit.
Upstate New York,
But
right?
then I went to Delphi. Yeah, and he was great there. It's where he fell in love with acting. He did all these great plays, better plays there than he did at Yale. But
Wow.
he was brilliant there, and he was always encouraging to me. Always, we were never competitive. He was always a great big brother. He played basketball first. I played. He told my parents to go see me because I was really small, but I was a great point guard. And he was like, "Got to go see Nicholas play." And he never really played baseball. Then I picked up baseball late in life, and I became like a decent baseball player because I picked it up really late. I was like a decent outfielder, but I think when you start late with baseball, it's hard. I mean, I just more or less fell in love with the game. I became a kind of a student of the game. I wish I would have started younger. I probably would have been a better baseball player. I mean, I was okay. I was okay. I had a good glove, but hitting a baseball starting at 12, 13, I was like, wow, I was petrified. My legs were shaking. I was like, holy shit, this is hard, man. This basketball came easy,
Right.
but I loved it. I loved it. I really loved. I loved the game. Then I went to the Yankee Stadium when I was a kid in '73 with the Boy Scouts of America. And the Yankees weren't even that great. And it was just something that came over me. The Bronx was a scary place. I'm from Queens. I'm really from all Met fans, Met fan territory. Should have been a Met fan. But I was like, this is it. Then the Yankees closed Yankee Stadium. I went a bunch of times. It was beautiful, that place. And then they shut it down. They gutted it, refurbished it. They played at Shea in '74, '75. And I went to all these games in '74 and '75. So my love affair was really... And then they were starting to get good. By '76, they got really good. Not great, good. And then I jumped on the field. I was at the Chris Chambliss game. You know, things you would dream about, Eddie Mata. I was there. I lived it. I lived it. I was running with grass in my hands, all right? I was running with grass. When Chambliss hit the home run, I flew from left field, came out of my body. You know, talk about loving the Yankees. I love the Yankees, like Phil Rizzuto, like, I love the Yankees. I don't care if they love me or they don't hate me. I love them.
But it's entertainment. That's why you love them.
Yeah, I love them because I love them. Because, you know, it's like Lasorda used to say, he died, bleeds, Dodger blue, like Billy Martin loved the Yankees. That's how I love them. That's my team.
So
that's my fucking
Let me tell you something about the Chambliss home run, what people don't know. I don't know if you knew this, but I had a discussion with Hal McRae. What happened was their center fielder in the ninth inning, he had to get out. Well, in the eighth inning, he had to leave the game. He was hurt, and the center fielder was 6'4". So what happened was that McRae.
Tell me the story again. The center fielder had to leave the game.
He had to leave the game because he was a little hurt. Something happened to him in the eighth inning. He was 6'4", and I asked Chambliss when I was doing Yankees fantasy camp 3 years ago. I said, if that center fielder was still in the game instead of Hal McRae going to center field, you think he would have caught that ball? He says, absolutely, he would have robbed me. The 6'4" center fielder, because Hal McRae took over in center.
Yeah, but the ball was hit to right center.
But that's what I mean. It was a center fielder ball. It was right center, but the center fielder they had, Hal McRae was playing. They put Hal McRae in center.
Can you pull up the footage?
I don't have the footage. I can't pull it up, but I can show it on my phone. Hold on a minute. So
I want to look at.
Yeah,
I want to look at.
Because the thing is, if you look at your phone right now, you'll see that Hal McRae jumped, he leaped, and he couldn't get it. And Chambliss told me the original center fielder, I forgot his name, who played for the Royals that year, that he would have robbed Chambliss's home run.
Well, it wasn't Willie Wilson, that's for sure. Amos Otis?
I don't even know his name, to be honest. Chris, some
You're
guy commented. Chris Poulos, actually, he won an ACE award this past year. Chris, who was the center fielder?
Amos Otis was their center fielder.
I guess that's him, yeah. And he's 6'4".
Well, wait a minute. I'm watching the... Wait a minute. What the fuck over here? Scam. I don't want to see him run around. I want to see him hit the ball. Wait a minute. Okay. I know Mark Littell throws the ball. Okay. Wait a minute. Right center. No. There's no way. First of all, there's no way the center... Let me correct you.
All right, well, hold on a minute. That's what Chambliss and Hal McRae told me. This is according to them.
I don't care what these people say. It's just like one time I was talking to Aaron Boone about the home run that he hit. I knew more about the home run and all the details, and he goes, I hit the ball, and this kid knows more than... The ball was way up there.
Way over?
Eddie. Not way over, but it was so high. First of all, that center fielder didn't even get there. It was the right fielder's ball.
It was...
You'd have to be an incredible center fielder. Watch the play. Watch the play.
All right,
you play baseball. You know what I'm talking about.
I hear you. All right, so
Trust me. It wasn't like Tony Tarasco. If he would have jumped, might have caught Derek Jeter's ball.
96.
It was so high. And McRae jumped, but I don't know why McRae was in right field. He replaced the right fielder?
Yeah, well, I think what happened was It's either
Who was
or,
playing
Nick.
right field? Because Amos Otis was the center fielder.
So I think McRae was in right, but they put him in center when Otis left.
No, he's in right. Eddie.
Hold on. Listen. Go ahead. Give me the facts, man. I'm trying to figure this shit out, too.
I'm going to try to see who's there, and I can tell you if I see. I'm watching the play. Rizzuto. Al Cowens was in center field. He probably took over for Amos Otis.
Right.
But he was nowhere near McRae.
Mm-hmm.
Al Cowens was the right fielder. Even Al Cowens wouldn't have caught that ball.
Right.
Chris is wrong.
Well, you know what?
You had to be like, you had to be beyond 6'4". You'd have to be like 8 feet. Watch the play. Are you watching it?
No, I can't watch it right because I don't want nothing fucking up on my.
Where's your phone?
Here, I'll do it right now. Let me see.
You bring up something. I'm gonna put a debate to this.
Back it up, right, Nick? Back it up, baby. Chambliss home run, 1976. Okay, here it is. Hold on a minute.
Al Cowens was moved. I didn't realize that. Al Cowens was moved over to Amos Otis was sick or something.
Something happened to him. I don't know, but that guy, Amos, 6'4".
Well, he's tall. I don't know how tall Amos Otis was. He was tall, 6'3". They said he was 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4". I don't know, Nick. I think he could have caught that, man. Well, I guess.
There was a play. I'll tell you, the Yankees caught a break.
Which one?
You know, I mean, look, they had no instant replay.
Right.
I believe it was in the top of the.
So, Nick, so you're saying, back to the Chambliss situation, right? I said that their center fielder was out. Hal McRae came, I guess he switched positions or he came into the game.
It looks like, I looked at the footage. It looked like Al Cowens was near Hal McRae. Right. Al Cowens was their right fielder. Their center fielder was Amos Otis. I was unaware that Amos Otis wasn't in there, but regardless, I don't believe any of those guys would have caught that ball. But there was a play in the 8th or the 9th inning, maybe the 8th inning, where they had almost the bases loaded, first and second, 2 outs, ground ball deep in a hole, and the guy at second, they said he was out, but he was safe. And George Brett then would have came up because George Brett tied the game when the Yankees brought in Grant Jackson. I could tell you, I remember this shit like it's in my body.
Yesterday, I hear you. Nick, your favorite ball player growing up was Thurman Munson, right?
Yes.
Okay. Why Thurman? I mean, they had a squad back then. You had Nettles,
but
Guidry.
when I became a Yankee fan, they were not a great team, 1973. So he just epitomized like the Yankees. It was him and Bobby Mercer. And then I loved both of them. And then Mercer got traded for a guy who became one of my favorites, Bobby Bonds, but played 1 year. But he just was like that guy. You know, you could tell like he had that heart, he had that soul. Right. He really was. That's why they made him the captain, because he just epitomized it. And I just fell in love with the way the guy played. He played kind of like he was a blue-collar guy, a lot like Mattingly. Mm-hmm. Why people felt like you loved Mattingly. Oh, yeah. Well, for the 70s, it was Munson. And there was just something about him. Yankee fans, I mean, it's tragic to this day, his death and you know, how he died and that he died. It's hard to really, like, put into words and even accept it. Right. I just love the guy. The number, the way he played, the way he went from first to third. I mean, even in the World Series when they got waxed by the Reds, he fucking put on a show and hit 5-something, and then Sparky shit-ass Anderson. I'm going to say shit-ass because, no, nobody said anybody's better than Johnny Bench. But don't, you know, disrespect Thurman Munson and say, you know, hey, he couldn't be on the same field as Johnny Bench. Bullshit. He played great. and he was just a great Yankee. I loved him. I mean, you don't see guys like him.
No.
And he looked like he was having a lot of fun. I mean, to me, that was when ball players were ball players. I mean, they're still ball players, but now they're like entertainers. They're like businessmen. It's changed a lot.
Nick, you're when it came to Thurman Munson, right? Where were you when you heard his plane crashed? That
I'll tell you where I was. I was at home in Rosedale, 243-06, 132nd Avenue. And my friend Louis Alvario, who was a good Yankee fan, great baseball player, by the way, went to Cardozo High School, star. My friend Louis used to bring me a lot of bad news. And he came over the house to tell me, he goes, guess what? Thurman Munson died. And, you know, people that you love and revere, and you're like, you know, like when I found out that James Gandolfini died, it was just like, what? You can't wrap your head around it. What happened? It was 1979. I mean, he was kind of winding down, and you just knew it was never going to be the same. And let me tell you something. It never was. It never was. I mean, even in the 80s with Mattingly and they had all these bad pitching and this and that. I mean, Donnie was great, but not until the 90s team, that 90s group, I felt like the Yankees were back. They had a great, I mean, you can't come near the 70s.
right.
I'm sorry. I mean, I know these guys are bigger, stronger, but the players in the 70s, if you think about the 70s, I was at the 77 All-Star game, and I watched it last night on YouTube. You go and take a look at the squad, especially the National League squad, some of the greatest players of all time in the 70s, some of the greatest teams. You had the Cincinnati Big Red Machine Reds. You had the Baltimore Orioles that were great. You had the swinging A's, the Village People A's who won 3 in a row, the Yankees who won 2 in a row, the Dodgers who were dynamite, the Phillies who were dynamite, the Red Sox. There's nothing like the 70s, bro. Get the fuck out of here. This is the greatest baseball ever, bro. The greatest. Sorry. Maybe you were too
Shit.
that you didn't see it. I'm telling you, there's nothing. Go back and watch the quality and the players that were on that squad. I'm watching the team. They had Joe Morgan leading off. They had Steve Garvey. They had Dave Parker. They had Pete Rose, Dave Winfield, Willie Montanez. It goes on and on. Dave Concepcion, Ken Griffey. It just goes. George Forster. It's insane how good the National League was. And the junior circuit had their stars and teams too. Not as good as I was always frustrated. I'll tell you, that's another thing that bothers me. They've now destroyed the leagues. I don't like all this bullshit. There's no more American League. There's no more National League. I liked it when the National League was dominant because we were like the little brother. And we had something to fight for against the National League. Now it's become so integrated, so watered down. We've lost the sense of the American League and the National League. I don't know if you agree with me, but that's how I feel.
Well, listen, the game completely changed. You know, there was no time clock back then. There was no bigger bases back then. You know, now you can't take people out, shortstop, second. I remember Willie Randolph getting destroyed back then, taking him out
by
like
Hal McRae.
Like
blasted.
You know,
blasted. And they didn't like each other. The Royals, Yankees, the Red Sox. There's no hugging and kissing, none of this shit like today.
Right. Yeah.
They did legitimately. The Royals did not like the George Brett couldn't stand the Yankees. He told me, I met him. He goes, "You're a Yankee fan? I hate those sons of bitches." I said, "I respected George, and I respected you. You were freaking great, but we wanted to beat your ass, and we did. And then they got their revenge. I was there, coincidentally, when they did get their revenge in '80, just like the Dodgers got their revenge in '81.
In '81,
it was payback because the Yankees." They were lucky to win those years, 76, 77, maybe not 78 against the Royals, but the Royals, they knew one was, and like the Dodgers caught a bad break on one play, turned the whole World Series around. I admit it, but we got away with it. I mean, I interviewed the guy about it. He's still crusty to this day about it. Ron
Right.
Say. He's still crusty about Reggie sticking his ass out.
Right. But Nick,
But he did it the right way.
but when you're when you cheer for a winning franchise, we grew up to the Yankees. It's like you're so used to winning, and sometimes you're gonna lose too,
But
and
Eddie,
it hurts. It fucking hurts.
Eddie, we do lose.
Right.
Think about it. Think about it. We won 76 pennant, 77, 78.
Right.
We lost in 81. Half is it. We didn't return to the Fall Classic
96.
till 96.
95 was the wild card. Yeah.
All right, 95 and wild
Right.
card. But that's 78 to 96. That's 18 years. There was a drought. Now, we got one token championship in this new stadium, whatever. I don't care for it. One championship, 2009. We haven't done shit.
No.
How many years is that? That's 14 years.
14 years. Nothing.
We've won nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. I don't want to hear about, well, we've been in the
No.
Come on.
No.
Give me a break.
Right. But you know what is, Nick? Other cities like Atlanta, St. Louis, their fans, it's okay. We made it the first round. It's okay. Not us. Not New York. You got to win the whole thing to succeed. Simple as that.
Think about it. Since the Red Sox broke the curse, in this, whatever you call it.
Since 2004, right?
In the 2000s, the Red Sox have won 4 World Series. We won 1.
Well, you can't. Well, yeah, we won 1.
Well, we won 2000. 2001, right. We could have won, but we let it get away.
Man, that hurt.
We didn't deserve to win that World Series because we won 2 miracle games. I was there, Game 7. One of the hardest defeats ever. I was there in that 9th inning. I was there in Arizona, Game 6. We got blown out, Game 7. We had it, and then, we made a couple of little mistakes in that 9th inning. And that was the end of that. And then 2003, we kind of blew our load by beating the Red Sox in that incredible series, and then we were flat. We should have won in 2003. I mean, we were flat against the Marlins.
But you know what? In 2003, their pitching was better than ours. And I hate to say it. The Marlins...
Well, they had Beckett, Burnett.
You had Burnett, Beckett, but you had these 2 fast motherfuckers that just steal bases, Wampere and Castillo, number 1 and 2. They would
but we were flat, Eddie. We were flat. We were.
And then you had the 20-year-old Cabrera hitting fucking home runs off Clemens. Come on now.
But, I mean, I still think they should have won that World Series. But all right, the Marlins are a weird team. They've won a couple of World Series, and they've also been gutted. It's a funny organization.
Yeah.
But and then we didn't win till 2009. Had a great season, and they broke up that team because they said they were too old. If you remember.
Yeah.
Matsui was gone. Johnny Damon was gone. All these people were gone. You just won a World Series. The philosophy of the Yankees now, I have a big problem with them. I have a big problem.
All right, Nick, I want you to open up and tell me, how do you really fucking feel about these Yankees?
I'm talking
disgusted,
and
right?
I'm not only disgusted. Yes, I'm disgusted because it's not that we haven't won. It's the way we're going about it.
Right.
And it's what we're selling us. They're selling us on this bullshit that we want to win, champ. We want to win. And I don't think so. I think it's more about, as long as they fill the stadium, as long as they put seats there, they're happy. The bottom line is it's a business. It's not like when George was alive, he wanted to win. And he didn't always go about it the right way, but boy, did he want to win. And heads would be rolling over the stuff I've seen. It's acceptable now to be that they are what they are. And it's not working. People are passing them by. We're turning into the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, we were once a great franchise. Now we've got the name. We got the name. But the quality of what we're doing, look at the Astros. I don't like them. I get into it with all their Astro fans, but they have a foundation. It fucking works. Batting averages, guys, home run or nothing does not work. We have a great player, maybe the best player in the game in Judge. We've put nothing around him. Nothing. It's not fair. that if one guy gets hurt, the whole team dies because you've built a shitty team. Take responsibility. They've gone out and signed all kinds of guys that are like, they think they're going to catch them. They think they're going to be slick by catching these guys that were once somebody and now are hanging on by a thread. I mean, you look at that roster, it's a joke.
Well, Josh Donaldson is one of them. I think that
yeah, I mean, he once was a good player,
right, once,
but no longer.
Right.
DJ LeMahieu got his money. He's not the same player.
No.
The kid, everybody's jumping on him. He's a kid. Volpe, he's got talent. Maybe he's not quite ready, but he's got talent. Glaber, he is what he is. He swings out of his heels, and sometimes he's a knucklehead out there. I mean, I don't know. And then, Rizzo I love, but he might be winding down a little bit. I don't know. I mean, Bader, good player, like him. Can't stay on the field. Can't stay on the field. Come on, man. You got to stand. I mean, what happened to Judge, that's a freak thing. But, and then don't get me started with the management and the manager and how they manage.
Yeah. Tell me about that, Nick. What do you feel about that?
It's not good. It's not good. I mean, there's these analytics or whatever they're going by. It's insane. The other night, for example, against the Mets, Garrett Cole gives you 95 pitches, throwing the ball by everybody. 2 fly balls that really should have been caught. Maybe the Mets shouldn't even have a freaking run. And he doesn't come back out for the 7th. Give me a fucking break.
Right.
Give me a break. He's got to come out for the 7th.
Because analytics say, well, if the batter sees for the third time, he can see the ball better. Stupid shit like that.
I'm still gonna go with Garrett Cole over Cordero and Marinuccio, whatever his name is, any day of the week. And the other night, comes in the 8th inning, pitches Houdini, Holmes when he's filthy, you can't hit him. He had 2 batters. Why is he unavailable? They didn't play Monday. Why is he unavailable? Wandy, who stunk up the joint, why is he unavailable? I don't get this shit. I don't understand. They have predetermined he's unavailable. We're not going to Holmes. Why? Did he throw 80 pitches? Guys, relief pitchers used to pitch 2-3 innings. Whatever it took to get a win. They should have won that game against the Mets. They don't have the games to give away. And Boone is giving games away. He's 10-13 in 1-run games. You tell me. It's nothing personal. You tell me. 10-13. Now, these bogus rules and the extra innings are horrible. Man at second, no out. You got to be really... And if you can't score with a man on second, you got a bad offense.
Well, Nick, here's the weakness.
Our offense has been bad for years. But there's no concerted effort to say, we're going to score one way or another by hook or crook. We're going to get a run across. We bunt. We do. Look what the guy had to do the other day. I don't know if he did it on his own, but he stole home.
Yeah.
He stole home.
Oh, my God. That was awesome.
It was exciting. I jumped off the couch. I went crazy. And then you lose that game after you steal home?
That should be more...
Okay. And you hear what he said? He goes, it was a competitive game. Oh, my God. What?
Right.
It was competitive? I can't say anymore. I can't say anymore.
No, I hear
it. Is
you.
what it is. What it is.
Nick, I was looking at the team on base percentage. We are ranked 27th on base. That's how horrible our offense is. Think about that, Nick.
What would you do, Eddie? What would you do with this?
Well, what can I do when the franchises, hold on a minute, when the organizations are all saying we got to play guerrilla baseball? The league average is 240. When we were
wait a minute. What's guerrilla baseball? What is that?
Guerrilla, like home runs. They just believe in home runs. Guerrilla baseball. That's what we call it.
Eddie, it hasn't worked, Eddie.
Well, that's what I mean. They're not willing to change. But you know what they say? Well, look at the Houston Astros. They're hitting home runs. They're winning. But they're also hitting. They're hitting with 2 outs with men in scoring position, too.
They get base hits. They get doubles. I don't give a shit who they are. Bregman, Altuve. These guys are baseball players. Mm-hmm. All right? They lost Correa. They lost Springer. They didn't miss a fucking beat.
Right.
They put us in the dust. They own us. And you know what? I tip my cap to them.
Yeah. But listen to
this, They're better than us. They're better than us.
Our on-base percentage, Nick, We're ranked 28th now. 300 on base. That is horrible.
Eddie, it's unacceptable.
Listen, look at the Texas Rangers as a team, 340, they're number one. The Tampa Rays, which has a $73 million payroll.
Listen, here's another thing, Eddie. We've never won with right-handed squads. They've been right-handed now for 1,000 years. So you bring up the Rangers. Seager, who would have been a perfect Yankee, the kind of hitter that this lineup needed.
I was hoping
if
to
they
sign
would have
him.
signed Seager,
Yeah.
oh, shit, man. The whole team would have been different. He's that kind of player, that kind of hitter. To me, the Dodgers made a mistake letting him go.
But, but Nick, what do you think of when Freddie Freeman was free? I wanted him so bad for the Yankees.
Him
Guy
too.
hits 330 with 30 home runs. Like
either him or Seager.
Right.
I mean, you know, I was happy with Rizzo. Rizzo's struggling right now. I don't know what's going on with him. He started out great. He hurt his neck. I don't know if he's hurt or is he winding down. I don't really know. And without Judge, he's not the same player. You know, Stanton, who I like, who's been clutch, he disappears. He gets injured. It's always the same story with Stanton. And I like him. But now is the time where when Judge is out, this guy has the ability to carry us. And they're a mediocre team at best.
You know it is, Nick. When we were growing
up, championship roster.
Right. When we were growing up, people were scared of the Yankees. Now teams are like, whatever, they're the fucking Yankees. No big deal. We're not scared.
They got the name. I mean, they did good at Dodger Stadium. They split with the Mets, who are right now floundering. Should have won both those games.
Right.
And you know, both teams have problems, but we are where we are. We haven't won in a long time. And they keep trying to sell us on the same boat. They think we're stupid, but we're not. We're not. We're on to them, and we know what's going on. Something has to change. The philosophy, somebody has to step up, and I guess it's up to Hal, I don't know, somebody to say, guys, this shit is not working. Either tear it down and we build up a real... Look at the Orioles now. They suffered for years and years. Now they're building. Now they look like they got a foundation. We got no foundation. Yeah, we got Judge. We got the best player in it. So what? We need more. Aaron Judge needs more help. He can't do it all alone.
Right.
Yeah, he could get us to the playoffs. He could keep us. Look at last year. He was burnt out when the playoffs came. The guy was burnt. I love the guy. He's
but
great.
Also,
I mean,
we were striking out left and right too, man. In the playoffs against Cleveland and then the Astros. I mean, we got lucky against Cleveland. We got lucky.
We did. I mean, we blew one game. That was a game that Boone with Clark Schmidt. Don't get me started. But we were lucky to win that series. And then we could have won game one.
Right.
We could have won the first game against Verlander. He had nothing. We had him on the ropes. Mm-hmm. We let that game get away, and the series was over. We had to win that first game. And then I was there. Game 4, we could have won that game. And then one stupid play at second base, a fucking flip play, and I said, the game's over. Everybody looked at me like, what are you talking about? We're still winning. I said, do you understand when you see a play like that? As a baseball fan, you know that's a sign.
And you know
Any
what?
Baseball fan.
Yeah, I was at the game at Game 4 when we got.
You were there. I was there too that night. I didn't see it.
Yeah. But listen to this. I told the Astro fans right in front of me, even though we were winning, when Glaber made that error, I said, this is yours. That's it. And they said, nah. I'm like, let me tell you something about the Houston Astros.
They don't fuck around.
No, but here's the thing. They were like the Yankees in the 90s. I'll tell you why. Because the Yankees in the 90s, if the opponent
would take advantage of any little thing.
Yes, exactly. If you make a mistake against the Yankees in the 90s,
they got you.
You are done. You are done.
Yeah.
Because
they weren't the most talented team, but they knew how to beat you.
Right.
And if you're exactly right. They beat you so many ways. This team can only win one way. If they don't hit a home run, they're 2-14 or some shit.
Right.
That tells you they're not a good team.
Right.
They're not a good team.
And another thing,
they got talent. They got talent, and they'll win some games. I'm gonna root for them. I'm gonna be over there suffering in the corner. But it's. I gotta prepare myself now for. This is what it is. Until I see some wholesale changes, I'm not optimistic about this shit.
Right. And the thing is, what I learned is that a great team doesn't make great plays. What happens is they eliminate mistakes and they take advantage of the opponent's mistakes. How many times are you going to see a great play in a game? Maybe one or two, okay. But how many times you see a team when the opponent makes a mistake, a great team be like, see ya, now we're taking over. Listen, I interviewed Terrence Long with that Jeter flip. Remember what Terrence Long was hitting in 2000?
I was at the game, bro. I was there in Oakland.
Yeah. So what happened was I asked Terrence Long, after that play, what was your gut instinct? Because they were down, the Yankees were down 2-0. He says, when Jeter made that play.
No. The Yankees were up. The Yankees were up 1-0.
No. They were down 2-0 in the series.
Oh, yeah. Down 2-0.
Did 2-0 in the series. And I asked Terrence Long, with that flip play, what you just saw, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you just saw, he said, I was in the dugout and our body language, the whole team, including Art Howe, it changed. It said, we might be done, even though we're up 2-0 in the series.
Oh.
That's what Terrence said.
He's completely right.
Yeah.
That play, if the A's score, win the game and the series. But when they made that play, whether it's miraculous, whatever it took to do, that team knew how to do it. They knew how to do whatever it took to win. You said it before. And that play, I went the next day, Sunday. They blew out the late Corey Lytle. You knew the Yankees were winning that series. Right. There was no way here's a perfect example, 96. They had no business winning that World Series. They had no business winning Game 4. But they did. They did on a couple of plays. A stupid pitch by Wohlers. A couple of little miscues. Boom, boom, 6-6. Game 4. The Braves were an inch away from going up 3-1, different series. And then they win on a fucking walk. Bobby Cox elects not to pitch to Bernie Williams, and he walks the pinch hitter, Wade Boggs. Right. End of story. That's how the Yankees started beating people. Like you just said, any little crack, we found a fucking way.
Right.
And that's what great teams do. They may not have been always the most talented, but as a group, they didn't have a bunch of superstars. They had a bunch of great players. Right. Look at all those guys. None of those guys are superstars. Right. They're really not. They're not Alex Rodriguez.
Nah.
They were great players.
And you know what's crazy, too, Jim? I mean, sorry, Nick, is that when you say mistakes, if you think about it, when the Wohlers left that pitch up, that slider, and Larrett said, he took advantage of that, that's a mistake. Night. Yeah, good night, mistake. Right? Exactly. Wade Boggs,
McCarver said it.
Right. Wade Boggs had an 0-2 count, but you know how Wade is. He's going to foul those pitches off.
1-2.
Right. So these guys know. And think about this. Smoltzy, the next game, was it Game 5? He said that was the best game he ever pitched in his life, and they lost.
They won 1-0.
I know, but
I was in a limo at a cop dinner with NYPD Blue. We were in New York that whole week. Mm-hmm. I was out of my mind at the Regency Hotel where Steinbrenner and George used to stay. I was in a limo screaming out of my mind, back and forth from a cop dinner to the limo, watching the game on a screen this fucking big. 1-0. I believe it was Cecil Fielder who drove in the only run, right, who was platooning with Tino, because Tino was cold. So Joe was smart enough to put fucking Cecil in there, who was a beast. Yeah. And Cecil paid some dividends.
I think
that team was Strawberry came up with big hits. People forget Strawberry had an impact with the Yankees. I mean, Darryl Strawberry is a Hall of Fame player. I mean, if he didn't have all those problems, whatever, it's one of the greatest swings ever.
Oh my God, yeah. It's like a Ted Williams swing.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Darryl. I mean,
so am I.
He was that fucking great. 18 on the Mets, 39 on the Yankees. I mean, there's something about the straw man that, I mean, I know you love him and you love Doc. I mean, those guys, they were great Mets and they contributed, especially Darryl. I mean, Doc had the no-hitter with us, but Yeah, but it's all those little things that make great teams. And you look for, like the Astros, they saw an opening, they said, boom, we're not letting the Yankees win a game
Right.
because who knows what happens.
But look,
And if Boone had,
think about the Houston Astros organization, right? Carlos Correa wants money. I get it. Like, all right, go ahead, leave. Got a 21-year-old minimum wage, killing the Yankees, and he won the World Series MVP. 21-year-old.
they obviously knew he was ready. They obviously knew he was ready. And then as far as Springer goes, he was expendable. They let him go. He's a great player, Springer.
Yeah.
He's a winning player. Correa's a great. I think Correa would have been good on the Yankees. It would have been great for that. I mean, I don't like the dude. He likes me. I mean, but I don't like him because he's an Astro. But but if he comes to help us, I'll root for him. I think they should.
I don't know, Nick. I kind of don't like. I don't know.
But I don't like. I don't really. I don't. To me, because I hated them so much, I would have loved to see the Yankees had signed Seager. I really thought he would have been a great fit.
That was
you got to get some lefty.
Right.
You got to look at that ballpark. That ballpark is a bandbox. You got to build it. You can't win with an all-righty team.
Nah.
And they've been righty for a long time. Let's face it, their best team they had was 2017. And you think back, they had Greg Bird. They had Didi. They had a couple of great. They had a likable team. They had the Baby Bombers. They had Judge, who was young, and then Sanchez, who was great. Look at Sanchez now; he's making a comeback. I think the Yankees ruined Sanchez. I really do. That guy's a gifted hitter, and I hope he makes it with San Diego, because I feel bad for him. I feel like certain players the Yankees they didn't help, like Jabba Chamberlain. They messed around with him, and I think they screwed him up. I mean, sometimes you got to leave a guy alone. That guy was very talented. Where you can find maybe not the greatest defensive, but when you could hit like a Mike Piazza, you got to help that guy.
Hell yeah.
And that guy's a good hitter. That guy's not a bullshit hitter.
Yeah. You know, Nick, when you were on NYPD Blue, right? Did the Yankees knew you? Like, when Jeter saw you, when you took a picture with Jeter, did he recognize you? Say, "Oh yeah, man, you're NYPD Blue." What was life like back then? You're on top of the world. It was a hit show. Talk to me, Nick.
I was on top of the world. I mean, I was at 96 when they clinched. I was screaming, yelling. They brought me on the field. Some guy from Westchester. This is how crazy it was. We were like the Yankees, NYPD Blue, network television. The Yankees welcomed me. I did commercials that year with Torrey and that spring training in 96. I was wearing Buck Showalter's jacket because Buck got fired. I still have it. I have Buck's jacket. Anyway, I wound up doing interviews on the field with Wade Boggs because I had done a commercial. Spike Lee was there, my man Spike, and then they brought me into the locker room. And they're like, Turturro. I think O'Neill, they knew me because I was on the biggest show on the planet. You got to remember, there was no HBO. There was none of all this social. No. There was none of this. We were the guys on the block. I was getting everybody tickets. All the stars of the show were coming through me. And I was like, hey, Nick, can you get us a ticket? Get us a ticket. I was making moves with everybody because I knew I was a fan. And I was on it as a hit show. And I was just a kid from New York, a Yankee fan. It was. I got married. I mean, that year is like the greatest year of my life, bro. It doesn't
96.
top that.
Right.
And I was in the locker room. Eddie, I was in the locker room. Wow. And I mean, that was later on the set of an Adam Sandler movie. Right. But, yeah, I mean, those guys, they knew me. I mean, it wasn't today. It's different. Social media. I have a voice out there. People either, like me or they think I'm completely off my rocker.
No. First of all, actually, we appreciate your passion. We love how much you care. It's not you being crazy. It's how much you care. I get you. You care. You want a fucking title in New York. We are spoiled with 27, but you need, we can't live 14 years, Nick. That's a long time.
I'm not saying the Yankees got to win every year.
No,
that's not what I'm saying. But we got to start winning some championships. Look, what do you want? You want Judge to wind up like Donnie Baseball, who suffers for 14 years with no pitching, and they put a flawed team together, a very, a talented team, good enough to make the play, but not good enough to win. Right. We want a winner. We want some, well, not every year, But we won a couple of championships. And I'm sure his judge does too. He just signed up for 9 years. Now they gotta take a look in the mirror this year. It ain't gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
Change some shit here. Go in a different direction. Got the best player in the game. Don't waste this man.
Right.
Put together a better team. Put a better group around them. It's like you have a good movie. You gotta have the right chemistry. You don't need 99 stars, movie stars in a movie. You gotta have the right chemistry, the right nucleus. I could help them. They're never gonna hire me, but I can help them.
So okay, let's say we hire. All right, Nick. Let's say we hire you. What are you gonna do? First step. Go ahead.
It ain't gonna happen.
All right, hold on. The Yankees just announced Nick Turturro as a special advisor to the New York Yankees. All right, Nick, we got an actor, an established actor. Go ahead, Nick. What would you do first if I'm Hal and Cashman in the office? Okay, Nick, what's your opinion? What should we do? Go ahead.
I think we got to break it down a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
We got to break it down. We might have to suffer a little bit, but we're going to start building a new team. We're going to build a team that hits the ball, not strikes out. We're going to get lefty driven. We're going to find baseball players, guys that complement each other, not just home run or nothing guys. And it's going to take a little suffering, but I'd rather that than the direction we're going, because this sucks. And it's just common sense. And enough of the analytics.
Right.
Put the analytics aside. If a guy's a good baseball player, he's a good baseball player. You know what I mean? And you got to build a team that has some cohesiveness, some chemistry. Look at the teams that are doing it right.
The Braves.
The Rays, the Astros, the Dodgers to a certain degree.
Atlanta Braves.
The Braves. You got to develop. When's the last time we had a star other than Judge? When is the last time? We got to do a better job. And we got to get lefty. We cannot win with just a righty team. Because last year, correct me when I'm wrong, when Carpenter, they found gold with Carpenter, and then Benintendi came, at one point, they had balance.
Yeah.
They had righties, lefties.
Yeah.
They were a different-looking team for a moment. For a moment. And that's what I would do. That's what Nick Turturro would bring.
So you know what, Nick? I think that if this was real and you...
Also, the fans relate to me. They don't relate to them. And they don't relate to their fan base. I'm telling you, they are disconnected to us. If they did, they would sit down and talk to me. Or talk to somebody like me.
Nick, I feel like you
They don't care.
Did you reach out to the front office and say, listen, if you need my help, I could change this shit around? Did you do that?
They probably know of me. You know, whatever. I mean...
All right, so Nick, tell me this story right here. This was a funny one. This is, you know, I'm not a really A-Rod fan, but right here, you see this picture right here on your phone? You see the picture right there? So you were also on the Fox.
I've done a lot of things for Fox. I've done a lot of promos, Yankees, Mets, Yankees, Dodgers, several times. I did one this year. Opened up the Yankee-Dodger game on Saturday. So I have a nice relationship with the Fox people. They've been nice enough to let me do. I pitch a lot of ideas from a fan's point of view, and they love the promos that I do, and they're all done very well. And me and A-Rod have become friends, somewhat buddies, you know, a little bit.
But hold on, Nick, hold on. You and I know that A-Rod was not clutch for the Yankees except 09. All these other Octobers, he was failing like crazy, right? Did that frustrate the shit out of you? Did you tell him that when you were on the Post studio?
Oh, have you ever seen the live show I did in 19 or whatever year it was?
No, I saw that. It was you, Big Papi, and Big Papi was like rubbing it in. Hey, how do you really feel about A-Rod? Remember? Go ahead. So tell me, how'd that happen?
And he said, Nick, did you boo him? Did you ever boo him? I said, I booed him plenty. But there's always a but. I said, he won me over. He won, and then A-Rod loved me, hugged me, kissed me, you know. I mean, I have to tell him, without A-Rod 2009, we don't have that ring. That's the honest-to-God truth. Right. And A-Rod, whether you love him or hate him, he's an all-time great Hall of Fame player. Regardless of all the other shenanigans. I mean, he's a great, great player. Was he a great Yankee? Not in the clutch for a lot of years, but he did get us a ring. And he
Yeah,
did get us
but
a
do
ring.
you
So
think this is a great? Hold on a minute, Nick. Do you think this is a great investment as a Yankee for 13 years? Only one World Series title.
I'm not
13
going to
years.
put that on. I'm not going to put that all on A-Rod. I'm not going to put that all on A-Rod.
But then there was one year that Joe Girardi pinch hit for him in the playoffs. That's how bad he was in October.
Yeah, Ibanez came through.
Right.
It can happen, Eddie. It can happen. But you can't forget that he got us a ring.
That's true, Nick, but we know we need more than one with him. Come on. In '04, he came in town and fucking
That,
we lost to the Red Sox 4 in a row.
listen, is it his fault that we lost 4 in a row to the Red Sox? No. We should have won that series.
Oh my God.
You know we should have won that series. We should have
course.
won game 5. Game 5 we should have won.
Yeah.
After we lost game 5, I knew it was over. I knew we were done. We didn't have a lot of pitching. And if you look at their pitching for those years, that's not on A-Rod. Yeah, he didn't hit in the clutch, but there was a lot of blame on those teams. And in '09, they had a really, really good lineup. And A-Rod was the guy that carried us.
Yeah,
Finally got over the hump
us.
with the Angels.
Yeah.
Got over the hump with the Angels. Got over the hump with the Twins. Got over the hump with the Phillies. You can't take that away from the guy.
That's true, but God, I don't know, man. It just
I'm just speaking facts. He got us a ring. Yeah, I would have liked more rings with him, and we probably should have had '04. It didn't happen. You know, some people could even blame him for that. They'd say, that was the curse. He was supposed to be a Red Sox. You know that story.
Yeah.
He was a Red Sox.
Yeah.
And the league, Aaron Boone broke his ankle. Aaron Boone, of all people, Aaron Boone. And that's why A-Rod was a Red Sox.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
How do you like that?
Yeah.
Those facts.
Yeah.
But I like the guy. He's good with me. A-Rod's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun.
Well, he makes fun of himself now because now he gets it. Look, I was on the sauce.
I find him in a lot of ways. I find him very fascinating because he's very kind of flawed in a lot of ways. And, with Jeter, he's very guarded. Jeter's like an old school mob guy. You're never going to find out the truth.
Right.
But A-Rod, he's kind of he's a lot of contradiction to him. And he's a very fascinating guy in a lot of ways. But even their relationship.
Right. But do you think psychologically A-Rod felt like, damn, man, this is Jeter's town, man. I want to be so like Jeter. I want to get that. I think he tried too hard, man.
It's like an actor who's trying to act too much and tell the guy, hey, listen, stop acting.
Right.
Stop acting. Just be yourself. Just relax. Trust yourself. You have more talent than 3 guys put together. And Jeter, it was his team. And I think because they weren't good friends, I'm just speculating.
Well, no, they were great friends. It's just when there was a Sports Illustrated article.
They were great friends before that and a few things I think that happened. Something happened.
Right.
Anyway, I think with Jeter, if you cross him, like I said, he's an old school mob guy.
Yeah.
You're dead.
But you saw the documentary on ESPN, the captain?
That just skimmed the surface.
Oh, okay.
That skimmed the surface for me. I want to dig deeper.
Right,
if I did a documentary, I want to go really deep, but we'll never find out. It's too much too guarded.
Right.
That's my feeling on it. It was good, but it was safe and protected.
Of course. Now, speaking of documentary, this is out of subject. I just was at the Tribeca Film Festival about Oscar De La Hoya. If you think Jeter's documentary was great, wait till you see this one coming out on July 24th on HBO.
De La Hoya?
Yep. On HBO.
Is he in the fishnets or what?
He actually, there's a part too that we didn't see. And he's going to open up about everything. He's going to say, look, I've been over with 500 females. It's coming. Wait till you see it. You're going to be like, holy shit.
Well, I guess you can't give everything away. And, it's just like Jordan or Jeter. They're great documentaries, but those guys, they still have to be. And if it was me, I probably would still be protective of a lot of stuff.
Well, you have to, right? You have to.
I think A-Rod, his document, I'd like to direct it. I think that would be the best documentary. The best. because
if he opens up,
if he opens up,
right?
if he's able to really like be naked,
Mm-hmm.
it could top all of them.
Right.
But that's the big if.
That's a big if, right? Nick, let me ask you this: in the movie, is it The Longest Yard? Right? Is that what it is?
By the way, before we forget, I got a really cool movie coming out at the end of June,
Go ahead.
BET Plus, no, July, called They Call Her King. It's a really cool movie, action-packed, courtroom drama. I play like a seedy lawyer, but it's a good movie, and they're getting good reviews. And this other movie I play, an insane coach called The Crusades, a high school dramedy. So two kind of cool little movies coming out in July.
Wow, that's awesome, man. I didn't even know that, Nick.
Yeah, well, you know, like I talk more about sports, and then I forget about like what I really do is act.
So let's go back to acting. All right. So now
I'd rather get paid for like, you know, being like an advisor, because that's really my passion. I'm sick about the Oakland A's, by the way. It just saddens me.
Yeah. So like in this movie right here, The Longest Yard, right? Is that you were in that film, right?
What do you mean? Am I in that movie? Yeah, you know I'm in that movie.
I'm saying, look at the picture right there. That's what I'm trying to show you.
Let me see. I'm blind. I can't see it. I took my glasses.
What are you, Helen Keller? All of a sudden, come on now.
Yeah, I am. I'm fucking Helen Keller.
So
there I am with Bert.
But Nick, was this a straight offer, or they had you read for the part?
I read for that.
Oh, you read for that?
One time, I read for it, and then Sandler liked the tape and decided to give me a chance. And the part at the beginning was very, very small on paper. And then after the first scene I did, Sandler said, wow, you're going to kill. You're going to kill in this movie. And he just kept adding dialogue to all my scenes. And it became like a really like great part. A part that a lot of people say, you know, you're a scene stealer. And it became like huge with the fans. And, you know, people, they're like, they just call me Brucey. Like, well, Brucey's mad, Brucey this, Brucey that. And I'm like it's the only movie I did in 30 years. But it was a great experience. I love Adam. And, you know, he let me shine in that movie. So it was great. Bert, somebody grew up watching him and like, wow, Uncle Bert. He was like, Uncle Bert? I was like, yeah, you remind me of my mean uncle. And he was like laughing. He was like, you're a good kid. You're good. So I'm like, well, if Bert says I'm all right, I guess I'm okay.
I think Burt Reynolds played college baseball in Florida State.
Played football. I know that.
Played baseball.
I know he played football, and I mean he's in the original Longest Yard, which is a good movie too. I always tell a lot of people watch the original because people love the remake. But the remake is great, and I mean you know it came out in 2005, and it's still like almost 20 years later. It's like still so popular. It's insane.
So Nick, you had a great acting career, right? Do you still audition? Do you still put yourself on tape?
Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, I do get some offers here and there. I got an offer this month to do something, but it's not as many as you would think. I still have to go in and then like I can't win a self tape because it's like I've done too much, and it's like then a lot of times they might just offer it to somebody. I'm a backup, and I'm like, you know, I'm not against auditioning, but what is that going to prove? That's going to beat my body of work. I'm either the guy or I'm not the guy.
Right.
You know, at this point in my life, it's like I'm not going to win auditioning. I get work from people that know my work and go, yeah, I'm a fan of you. You know, I want to, you know, I think you've been underused or people could use you better or use you more. It's a brutal business. A lot has changed. A lot. I thought it would get easier with success, but the exact opposite. It got harder. Harder for, you know, a number of reasons. And that's like another show.
It's the same thing as a ball player, like what Pete Rose said. It's not just getting there, it's staying there.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that I could even stay there and the fact that I could even have a career is a miracle. And I did. Would I liked to have it been bigger? Yeah, a couple of things didn't go my way. I almost had my own show like several times. I was a hair away. And if I had gotten my own show, gotten a chance, or got on the air, it could have changed a lot of things. It could have blew me up.
If you could turn back the clock, would you do anything different?
No, I mean, I think I would have been a little smarter about certain things. I think when I was starting to have some success and this and that, I didn't have my eye on the. I was just trying to share it with everybody, and at times I was a little headstrong. So I think I would have just taken a step back and been a little more careful, allowing people into my life, and maybe making some choices better. Because I think if I would have been a little more calculating, I could have had a bigger career. But it ain't over yet,
No, are you kidding me? You still got it in you, man. You know you're
still, man,
good.
it's like it's still there, man. It's still there. It's like I still got some in the tank, and like I say, in those late innings, I still think I could hit it out of the park. And if people throw me the ball, pitch the ball, I'm gonna fucking hit it, man. I may strike out sometimes, but I'm gonna fucking hit the ball. I'm gonna get my bat on the ball, which the Yankees should do. Get your fucking bat on the ball, and that's what I intend on doing. Making contact. And, a lot of this is not in my control. So I could only do what I could do. I could only be Nick Turturro.
Right.
And that's it.
So you have 2 kids, right?
I have 3.
3, right.
Daughter, when I was a young kid, Erica, she's 30-something, 35. I have Apulia, and I have Nick. His name is Nicholas, too. But he's, and then I have a grandson. I have other grandchildren.
And you know what? I love your grandson.
But my grandson is the lefty, and he's like you, a lefty. He's fucking great. 3.5.
Look. I mean, this picture right here tells it all, right?
Yeah, but he's bigger now. He's bigger now.
But I'm just saying, he's so cute. I'm like, how could you not
man,
be attached to him, right? You're so attached to him, right?
He's beautiful. I fell in love with him. I felt like, I mean, I get emotional even thinking about him because I'm like, like when I fell in love with my wife, it's like I fell in love with that little boy, and he's coming over now, so I only see him, half the time. And
you see, I love this picture right here. Look at this picture, Nick. Look how cute that is. I love that picture.
I love this guy. I love him. Papa.
Like he comes to you, runs to you, hugs you, right? He makes you feel so good, right?
Oh, he's funny. He tells me things. That's not right, Papa. That's right. Don't say that. Don't ever say that. And I go, okay, Santino, you're right. He's the boss. And I kind of live. I live for him. I really do.
No, you know what, Nick? What the thing is that a lot of people don't see your vulnerability, and that's what you're showing right now, and that's very beautiful of you. Because I'll tell you, hold on a minute. It's beautiful because everybody's so used to you screaming and getting frustrated, and then you have this. Yeah, but hold on a minute. But then you have this soft side of you, and it's like, look how beautiful it is,
Nah, I love that guy. He's great, man. I just he's like I say, the sun is out and he's coming over. I'm trying to make him a Yankee fan. His dad wants him to be a Dodger fan, but I'm trying to make him a Yankee fan.
How old is he now?
He's great. He's like 3.5.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
He's a big kid. He's a big kid. He's got a beautiful swing. He's very athletic because his dad is athletic. His mom is my daughter. She dances. And he's strong, and he's just. I took him to the Yankee Dodger series. He's great. Everybody you're just driven to him. He's got it. He's just got this magical way about him. I don't know. My kids, they're growing. I don't remember. It was all special, but like with a little boy again, it's like I don't know. Sometimes something, it happens, I don't know. If it ever happens to you, you'll understand what I'm saying.
No, I hear you, man.
I didn't even know that was going to happen. They had a kid. They weren't married, blah, blah, blah. But I fell in love with the little boy, and he's a wonderful kid. Wonderful. Talented, and he's got like a, he's funny as hell. He's just I can't describe him. I mean, if you saw him, you'd get it.
No, I see the pictures, and I'm like, I say, look how soft Nick is right here. This is beautiful. That's what what is Nick. They don't see that side of you, the fans and the people on Twitter, and the way you're ranting and going crazy.
Yeah, but that's just one thing.
Right.
You can't you can't say that's, you know, unless until like you meet somebody. Like a lot of people I've had images of it, then I meet them and they're like, wow, this person's way nicer than I ever thought, or this person's way this, way that. And the same thing with me. If you think just the ranting and the yell, well, when are you going to yell? When are you going to scream? When are you going to lose your mind, have a fucking heart attack? And I'm like, I can't do that all the time.
Right.
I'm getting old, man. I'm 61. I'm like, you know, I'm not a kid no more.
Right.
I'm not a fucking kid, even though I got a kid's spirit.
But you're a man. You're a
Anyway,
man.
yeah, anyway. I mean, I
But
think we
Nick, but
covered it all.
But speaking of back to acting just a little bit, right? You know, you said that, you know, there's a lot of there's you know, there's a lot of torture going on as far as, you know, trying to make it and maintaining, right? Now, but when your kids
Yeah.
tell you, Dad, I want to become an actor like you, what do you tell them?
I just tell them, like, look, man, if this is what you really love and this is your passion and you got the talent and you got the, you know, you can take the rejection, you know, if you, then go for it. You know what I mean? But it's you got to be serious about it. If you're not committed, forget about it.
Right.
You know, and even some people that are not that talented, if they're committed, they can sometimes do better because they can go further because they want it so bad. They're so committed. They work so hard. There's some people that have talent, but they don't want to work. So it's a combination. So you see that tenacity. Like my son, he's a go-getter. He's very ambitious, maybe more ambitious than me, and he takes no for an answer. He wrote a script now that I think he's going to get it made. I'm going to help him get it made, but he's got balls, and if you are, I'm okay with it. But it's not for everybody.
Right.
It's not for everybody. You know, it's hard. It's a hard life. I don't recommend it unless it's your passion, and you have the ability, and you have the, you know, you could take the rejection of this fucking business because it's awful. It's horrible. You know, like I say,
Yeah.
I don't. It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I did it because I was good at it, because I liked it. I thought, well, maybe I could make a living at it. But that's my advice. You know what I mean? I mean, anything is possible. If I could do it, you could do it. But it's not for everybody.
Right.
You
No,
know,
I
you gotta have
totally
some.
agree.
And
Yeah.
you can't just be lucky. Luck. You can only go so far with luck. I
Well,
mean,
you
there's
gotta
some
be
people. I mean, you do have to be. You gotta
you
have
gotta
a
be
catch a
prepared.
break.
You
You
gotta
do
be
have to be.
prepared.
Yeah, yeah. And there are some people that everything goes their fucking way, and some people are more lucky than good.
Right.
There are some
Right.
people like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know,
I hear, no, I just
it's
listen. I
hard.
know it already. I want my viewers to hear
Like
it
even
from
like
you.
guys that are baseball players that to make it to the show, what does it take? I don't know. These guys in the minor leagues are great, and then can they make it to the show? And then if they get to the show, what determines them to be successful? I don't know. It's some of those guys, they made it to the show, but they didn't. But they're still a major leaguer. They still played. People might say that guy sucks. He sucks. He made it to the major leagues. Well, we all say that because we expect more from them because they're professionals. So we hold them in a high. That's why we're very critical of them. If we could do it, we would do it. It's a lot easier to talk about it.
Right. Yeah. No. Nick, how did you meet your lovely wife? Right there. There's a picture of you and her.
I met her on an airplane. She was a stewardess, flight attendant, and 1994 I met her and I got her, convinced her to give me her number, and she didn't want to really give me it to me at the beginning, and then she said, all right, I'll give you the number to my crash pad. She lived with a bunch of girls, and then finally she gave me her number, and then I said, oh, maybe one day we could meet for coffee or something, and then we had a date, and she came to LA. She's let me know, and I picked her up, and then we went to the 20th Century Fox lot, which you know, and we sat on a park bench by the old commissary, and that was our first date. And I was like, wow, I really like this girl. And when I saw her on the plane, I kind of flipped. I mean, I didn't know. I was just starting like my life, career and stuff like that. But there was just something different between us, and you know, I just knew it was something different, something special. It was more than just physical. It was emotional,
Right.
and I was madly in love. And had an incredible wedding in '96 at the Bel Air Hotel, and I sang "Lady" to her. I brought down the whole wedding when I sang "Lady," the Kenny Rogers song.
Hmm.
And they actually showed it on the David Letterman show. I don't know if you could find it on YouTube. But, we've been married over 25 years. So, for better or for worse, I still love her. And, she's still the love of my life. And, you know, but, you're married, so it's different.
Right.
I
Totally
complain all
get
the
it.
time. I'm
I
not the
hear
only
you.
guy. But, she's a great lady. Great lady, great woman. Probably better than me. Um, so I've been lucky to have had that, because a lot of people, this fucking dog won't stop barking. Anyway, that's basically the story.
No, I hear you. Listen, Nick, yours is a little delayed, but I'm getting your audio, which is fine. Um, you
Yeah,
still have time a little bit? Oh no.
I think we should wrap it up, Eddie. I'm
All
about
right.
done.
All right. So
That
listen.
good enough?
Yeah. Listen. I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much for this. Um,
Okay.
I'm gonna upload mini clips on Instagram. I'll tag you. The highlights, but the
All
full
right.
it's gonna be on YouTube. The full interview.
Okay.
All right,
Hope
Nick.
you get a good audience. I hope you're happy with it.
Oh, I'm definitely
It was
happy with it because you're very authentic. You're real, and that's the key. Is by opening up, tell like it is, but showing your soft side too is great.
yeah, good. Let them know.
Exactly.
Let them know that.
Nick is not just a crazy diehard Yankee fan. He's also a human being. Remember that.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right.
Well,
So the
listen.
Yankees
Have
should know that.
exactly. Well, listen. Have fun. Enjoy
All
Santino
right.
later on, and thanks so much again, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Eddie. Take care, buddy.
You got it.
Hey, how you doing? This is Nick Turturro. Please check out Eddie Mata. Subscribe to him. Whatever you got to do. Give the kid a chance. He's a good guy. He's a friend of ours, a friend of mine. He's a Yankee fan. So check out Eddie Mata. Whoever he is. Who is Eddie Mata? That's right. That's the question. Check him out.